Mavs Moneyball asking, is Kyle Lowry what the Mavs need? Let's talk some Mavs. As we'll do a little bit of a buzz here with free agency coming up on August 2nd. What is possible? And does the name, we'll tick off some names here for you, just Autoflex Leasing fan text. Do any of these impress you enough that you'd be willing to throw the cap space at it? Or do you just want to keep your powder dry and maybe wait for a better opportunity in the trade market or next summer? But Lowry at 36 years old, not the tallest or quickest guy, but he's still getting it done. 17 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists per game. If he was 31, I would love it. 36 is tough. He did shoot 40% from 3 and 45 effective field goal percentage in 46 games played for the Raptors. Injuries have been a problem throughout his career.
I won't be too picky with the Mavericks this offseason. I want them to add good players. So if you added Kyle Lowry, I would say that's fine. It's far from perfect. You would rather have, all right, we got this max cap space, or we got X number of dollars, and we got this guy who is the perfect way to fill that space. But that's what Mark Cuban's been waiting for forever. Yeah. Is I've got this one lined up, baby. We got just enough money for that guy. And that guy ain't coming here. So if you ended up adding Kyle Lowry, I would look at it and be like, okay, he's a little guy that's going to be past his prime, that's going to get hurt a lot, but it's better than having Trey Burke getting minutes. So Kyle Lowry, come on down.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very similar team to what you had last year. This past season. I don't anticipate them really making any major moves. I think you got to get Porzingis healthy enough to where his trade value is good, having him play a little bit better so people see value, and then also his contract being a year in where people don't have to deal with that.
Yeah,
I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of learning. It's a lot of understanding. Kid's going to have to get a feel for his roster. The GM's going to have to get a feel for what he could do, build some relationships or rekindle some relationships with guys around the league now that he's in a different chair. I don't see them doing much. I don't see them moving. I don't see them now.
You think they're just going to bring back Hardaway Jr.?
I think they are. I really do. And this is again. I just, to me, it seems very much like let's stay the course. Let's see, and then once everybody feels comfortable with where we need to be, then I see like 2023 as being okay. Let's go out and get this, and let's recruit free agents, and let's try and move on from Porzingis here.
I mean, you had systemic roster issues.
Yeah.
Porzingis and Luka don't get along.
Right.
You don't have enough ball handlers or creators.
Right.
Doubling down would be a massive mistake for Mark Cuban and Bob Dabalina, Vegas Bob.
They're going to double down because, again, if they go out and try and just totally turn everything upside down, it's not going to happen. They're going to be stuck with Porzingis.
Yeah, I hear you.
By moving Porzingis, that gives you the flexibility to go do what you need to do.
Yeah.
So to me, if you're telling me that that's not going to happen, and the way they're talking about, Mark's talking about Porzingis in a glowing term, and kids saying, "Oh no, they'll be fine together," and I know he has to say that, but if that's what the organization believes, because Mark's probably told Kid, "Hey, I want to keep KP here," and maybe Kid knows too that Porzingis' trade value is nil right now.
Yeah. And that's something that you have to be patient with, but you have other things you could do. Yeah. And bringing back Hardaway Jr. when there's a capable point guard on the market who could really be a secondary creator and ball handler outside of Luka, I think that would show some pretty prevailing ignorance on the part of Mark Cuban when it comes to what is stirring the drink in this NBA and how busted your roster was when it came to problem solving against playoff pressure.
Well, we've talked about, though, too, that this roster was, if it wasn't for the pandemic period that they went to, might have been the 4th overall seed, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
Again, we're just kind of talking about the pandemic. They're the 6th seed. I have a feeling you're going to see something very similar.
Yeah.
It's either going to be the 4th seed or it's going to be the 6th seed.
You could have Lowry on a 3-year deal for about $32-33 million a year. That would probably get him. And it
sounds so gross, doesn't it?
The only cool thing about it, Jeff, is Porzingis' deal is going to be up in 3 years. So if you match your signing with that 3-year window, you can't go get a brilliant star in his prime because that would be 4 years. Yeah. And that brilliant star in his prime probably doesn't want to come here. So you'd be giving the 2nd or 3rd or 4th pick amongst that grouping a 4-year deal which then when KP's contract comes up in 2024, you would have that guy and Luka eating probably 85 or 90% of the cap and would rule you out of that summer's free agent class. So it's a tricky type of thing to do, and it's kind of like, how patient do you want to be? When you have an aging roster at 32, 33, 34 years old, you got to take whatever the market has. Time is on your side, but at the same time, you have to be thinking of what's going to make Luka happy and want him to stick around. By the way, Mark Stein is reporting the Mavs' first item of business is deciding to sign Tim Hardaway Jr. to a new contract or not. Jeff, do you want THJ back?
I'm going to say no. It won't kill me, but I will say I think that's the sort of player you'd like to be able to get what he does done for less. Because what he does is he shoots. That's what he does. And he was really important to this team last year. But I would like to think shoots is something you can find. You watch the finals and or the rounds before, Connaughton can shoot. I'm just trying to think of random names. Every Phoenix Suns role player can shoot. PJ Tucker can shoot. The guys who make very little, those are the guys that your job is to stand there and shoot.
Yes.
And that's what Hardaway brings is I can shoot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't need what he brings. You don't need finishers, right? You had finishers, and you had a pretty dang good offense for back-to-back years, but it didn't make you that viable in the postseason because you couldn't defend and you didn't have anybody to take the pressure off of Luka. And James Harden met similar fates with Houston until he had Chris Paul, right? And then they damn near overthrew the KD Golden State Warriors.